What is up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, my name is Lex and thank you for clicking on today's video. Today I have another Middle Eastern fragrance haul for y'all. If you saw my most recent one where I hauled a bunch of gourmand Middle Eastern scents, I mentioned to you guys I had another one. There are some sweeter smelling ones in here, but these are going to be more fruity florals and more feminine leaning ones, things like that. The ones that smell a little more perfumey. If you did not see that one, I will link it up top. But yeah, this one's going to be for my fruity floral girlies or for my girlies who may be gourmand lovers and you want something that is still sweet, sparkling, and pretty, but is not a straight up bakery type of scent. So if you are into Middle Eastern fragrance content as well as fragrance and beauty content in general, please make sure you are subscribed, okay? Double check, take 2 seconds to make sure you hit that red subscribe button, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. If y'all have been here, y'all know I have been reviewing Middle Eastern fragrances for a few years now, so I always preface these videos by letting you guys know when you get these scents, you should bring it out in the box a few times and put it away and let it sit for at least another week or two before you come back to it and test it out, as most of these scents just get better and better with time, okay? I have had all of these for a few weeks in which I did spray all of these out and let them sit. So while this is still going to be a first impressions for the most part, these have had time to sit in my collection for a little bit. First, I actually want to start with 2 that were sent over to me from Joma Shop. Maison Asrar Muharib. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And then we have Maison Asrar's Faris Al Arab. When I got these, y'all, I honestly thought they were going to be more masculine leaning scents. So I'm very excited to revisit them with you guys. The presentation of these itself is just absolutely gorgeous. Like, hello. I'm going to go through the notes on my phone for these, and then of course we will look at what fragrances these are compared to, because whether you are or are not aware, most Middle Eastern fragrances are inspired by more niche or designer scents. This one has main accords of sweet, citrus, lavender, aromatic, tobacco, cinnamon, warm spicy, honey, fresh spicy, and floral. Top notes of lavender. Ooh. If y'all are new here, I'm not a lavender girly, so we'll see how this goes. Top notes of lavender, lemon, and bergamot. Middle notes of cinnamon, honey, and cashmere wood. Okay. Base notes of tobacco, tonka bean, and jasmine. The middle and the base notes may save this lavender for me, but I historically am just generally not a lavender fan most of the time. Unisex / more male leaning scent, but the #1 fragrance it is compared to is Naxos by Xerjoff, which I know is a very, very popular fragrance in the niche community, and a lot of women like that as well as men. So let's see what this is smelling like. I have seen some male fragrance reviewers in the space say that this is almost a spot on dupe. I'm honestly a little scared to spray this one, y'all, because from what I remember, this one was a little more strong. So I'm going to spray this into the box first. And I actually can still smell it from the first time I sprayed this in the box a few weeks ago. So let's see. Yeah. This is definitely very prominent on that lavender note. Oh, yeah. Okay. The lavender I don't like. In the opening, it kind of has that barbershop, barbicide vibe. And I will say it is on the sweeter side, and the citrus in the opening, I'm definitely getting a very citrus heavy lavender, but to me, from what I am smelling, it is definitely leaning more in the masculine territory. It does smell really, really nice though. I just don't think I would like to smell this on myself. This is giving something I would want to smell on a man. This is definitely a stronger beast mode scent. This can be very polarizing, okay? If you are a man looking for a beast mode, strong, sweet scent for fall and winter, this is definitely a good one to check out. As it dries down, I'm starting to get the honey and the cinnamon, and it is sweetening up a bit. And the tobacco is kind of there in the background. Now, when I opened up the box, y'all, from the first time I sprayed it, I could still smell the lavender, the tobacco, and the tonka. So it is a very rich, long-lasting, punchy fragrance. Like, I could smell that instantly. And as someone who does not like lavender, I think that is what's messing this up for me. However, this is definitely unisex. I would absolutely say it is more masculine leaning, especially because of that opening. It kind of gives me that barbershop, barbicide, liquid type of smell, but it does smell really, really sexy. Like, as it's drying down, I do love how this smells, and I would actually love to smell this on a man. This is not something I personally would wear, but I would love to smell this on a man, especially in the fall or the winter where the cool breeze is kind of just like blowing this scent in your direction. This is definitely giving like date night or like something fancy, cocktail reception. That is what this smells like to me. Definitely smells niche. Does not smell like this is $30 or $40. And I know Naxos is definitely up there in the $300 to $400 range. So this one is definitely a win in regards to a scent for men. Not so much for me, but yeah, it does smell really, really good. It's sweetening up a lot on the dry down, and I feel like the lavender is still there to kind of keep it slightly fresh, so it's not super overtly sweet, smoky and leathery, but yeah, this does smell really, really good, y'all. Now that brings us to Faris Al Arab, which I'm hoping is something that is, you know, a little less masculine leaning, and it's something that I potentially could wear. So I'm gonna spray this in the box. I was not hit in the face with the scent like I was with the Muharib. It's made in chords of amber, woody, warm, spicy, vanilla, sweet, musky, powdery, balsamic. Okay, so that sounds like something I would definitely enjoy a little bit more. It has top notes of, ooh. Oriental notes, cashmere wood, cherry liqueur, vanilla, middle notes of sugarcane, amber, and cedarwood, base notes of sandalwood, tonka bean, labdanum, and musk. Y'all. Okay, this we're gonna spray. On first spray, this is definitely another one that is unisex. What am I saying right now? I'm sorry, y'all. This is definitely another one that is unisex, but this is 100% unisex. Like, I don't feel like this leans masculine or feminine. It could literally go either way. And this is also something that I feel is really, again, niche luxury smelling. Like, this smells like someone would assume you're wearing something that's $300 or $400. That is what this smells like. So before I even see what it's compared to, that's the vibe that it's giving me. It smells expensive. It smells regal. It absolutely smells like a fall wintertime fragrance. The oriental notes is giving me a little spice. It almost smells like star anise or like cinnamon or something. It's very much in that sweet, spicy category. And then the cherry liqueur and the vanilla is almost giving it this cherry syrup type of smell. So think of like a spiced cherry syrup or a spiced cherry cider or something like that. That is what this smells like. It smells really, really good. And then as it's drying down, the sugar cane and those kind of woody notes, the amber, it's making this smell more rich, more resinous. It's giving it just kind of like some body and some layers. But yeah, y'all, this smells really good. This smells really, really niche, really luxury. This is kind of giving me if Lattafa's Nebras or Billie Eilish was transformed into a niche fragrance, right? Like, it gives me similar vibes where it's this kind of very interesting, slightly fruity, spicy vanilla. It's amped up to smell like something very, very expensive. Yeah, this smells really good, y'all. This is also giving me a great scent for the holidays as well. Like something you would wear for Thanksgiving or like a cocktail party, a holiday cocktail party, New Year's. That's kind of the vibe this gives. So the number one scent it is compared to is Blonde Amber by Clive Christian. Oh, that's another one that is super crazy expensive that a lot of niche girlies love. This does kind of smell like it's borderline oudy, right? But it's not that kind of rancid, sour, or like dusty smelling oud. This really just smells like the tree, like a tree sap or something. It's very, very sweet, but it still smells very expensive. So if you are looking for something niche smelling, expensive, very like you are going to stand out in a room, this is not as like beast mode, I would say, as the Muharib was, but this is still really, really nice. If you do more than 5 sprays, you would probably have a headache. Whereas the Muharib, I would personally not do more than 3 of that one. Both of these smell very, very high quality. I'm very impressed. I do feel like the Muharib is a little too masculine leaning for my taste, but this one right here, the Faris Al Arab, this smells very expensive. It does not smell like something else that I have in my collection right now. So I am definitely going to be keeping this one. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10, honestly, because while it is not something I will be reaching for every day, it is a lot more unique than a lot of things that I gravitate towards right now. I feel like the quality of what you are getting in this juice, the presentation, and the scent as a whole definitely smells way more expensive than the price point. Also, like I always tell you guys, I will be getting back to you guys with updates, whether some of these are going to be declutters or if I fall in love with them. Once I give you guys my, final wear test and all of those things, I do typically do update videos. This is another one I really, really liked when I first got it, so I'm excited to revisit it with you guys. So this one is called Habik by Lattafa. And I've had this one for a little over a month, so I do feel like this one is definitely going to be hitting. Now, I do need to clarify, there is apparently a Habik for women and a Habik for men. So the one that is more of this purplish colored bottle, this one is Habik for women, obviously. So this one has made in chords of white floral, floral, fresh, citrus, fruity, amber, green, musky, sweet, and powdery. And has top notes of pear, bergamot, middle notes of lily of the valley, jasmine, and freesia, and base notes of amber, musk, and oak moss. Now, those are all notes I really love, y'all. I especially love pear when it's mixed with something kind of citrusy, but I also really, really like freesia because it's more of a sweeter, powdery, white floral to me, and I usually like a lot of perfumes that have freesia in it. So let's see. This is compared to Versace Dylan Purple, which I remember, but I never actually purchased that fragrance for whatever reason. It also smells similar to Ariana Grande God is a Woman, which is a perfume I have had before that I really, really like if you are a pear lover. And also Afnan Mystique Bouquet, which is a dupe for Valaya. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell y'all, I really, really liked this when I first smelled it. Yes, y'all, this smells so good. And I'm glad that I'm testing it now because when I'm in the mood for a fruity scent when it gets colder, in the fall, I really love pear, I love plum, and I love peach. I love those types of like fleshy fruits during this time of year because I feel like they layer well with vanillas, they layer well with floral scents, like they layer well with any type of direction you usually are trying to go in with your layering combo. I definitely get fleshy, almost like a pear pulp mixed with citrus. It smells really refreshing and sweet, but not overwhelmingly in your face. It still smells very feminine and flirty, and you could absolutely layer this up. It almost smells like a pear applesauce, a pear candy, which I very much get that vibe from Ariana Grande's God is a Woman. It's definitely in the same category as that for sure. It smells slightly clean, but I would not classify this as a clean fragrance. This is definitely giving me a powdery pear, a nice, pretty easy to wear fruity floral. Like that is what this is giving me. This is not anything super, super niche smelling or expensive smelling necessarily, but I feel like this is going to be a great grab and go or a great layering fragrance. I really like this. It just smells easy. It's not like, it's no fuss. You know what I mean? I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 too, because I really, really like this. And this is not beast mode. I feel like I have different rating contributors depending on the fragrance. So for what this is, I feel like this is a great, easy, everyday scent. And I feel like we just need something like this in our collection. So yeah. Now this next one, I'm honestly a little afraid of, right? Because I did not start my fragrance journey as someone, ooh, I literally can still smell it in the box from the first time I sprayed it. So I just want to preface this by saying I did not start my fragrance journey truly loving and appreciating rose, right? Until my more recent years. I would say in the last couple of years, I really have fallen in love with the rose note in perfumery. I just feel like it just gives grown woman. It's one of those floral notes that I feel like can go in so many different directions. It can give pretty feminine, lighthearted energy. It can give sexy and edgy. It can give grown. It can give mature. It can give youthful. Like depending on what kind of rose is used, it can give the fragrance so many different vibes. So I've really grown to appreciate rose over the years. And one of my all-time favorite fragrances that I would consider to be a signature scent of mine is Mancera's Roses Vanille, because I feel like it's a beautifully done, delicate, yet slightly sweet, syrupy rose and vanilla. Absolutely love that perfume, right? Anyways, I say all that to say, this is called Rose Origami by Maison Alhambra. This is supposed to be inspired by a perfume that I smelled one day in Sephora, and I actually really, really liked it on the dry down, but I don't think I liked it enough to where I would spend that much money on that fragrance. And it is Tom Ford's Rose, I want to say it's Rose Cafe. And this could easily lean in that rose category that I don't love, that's almost a little dated. Like it's powdery and slightly green, and it cards are warm, spicy, woody, rose, patchouli, aromatic, coffee, amber, balsamic, yellow, floral, and earthy. Has top notes of Turkish rose and coffee, Bulgarian rose, patchouli, coriander, cardamom, ylang ylang, sandalwood, and olibanum. Now, all of those are also, again, notes that I really like. Patchouli is hit or miss with me. Sometimes I really love it. Sometimes I hate it. For me, the opening of this definitely gives me a more mature rose mixed with this kind of coffee dusting, really giving it kind of a richness to it. It doesn't necessarily smell coffee forward. It almost just smells like if you were to grind up coffee grounds and like lightly dust it over some roses or something. Like that's kind of what it smells like, where it's muted, it's in the background, but it's there. This is very pretty, but this gives me a very specific woman in mind. This gives me, first of all, a woman who knows she loves rose perfumes, but this puts me in the mindset of just those niche perfumes that smell super expensive, super rose forward, like the rose saffron lover, the rose oud lover. That is who would like this type of fragrance. If you liked the Kayali Rose Oud also, it's kind of in that territory for me. Whereas someone like me who prefers a more gourmand leaning rose, I don't love this right now. It does smell like a very specific type of scent profile. So for me and my personal taste, I am going to give this a 6 out of 10. But I do feel like it is another very high quality fragrance. It is very, very strong, very long lasting. Like I literally could still smell it in the box from the last time I sprayed it, which was a couple of weeks ago. And it smells very, very expensive, niche, and luxury. But this is just not a rose that I particularly gravitate towards. I do find it to be a little sharp for me, a little too mature smelling for me, but I can see a lot of rose lovers loving this. So if you like Tom Ford's Cafe Rose, you should definitely check this out because it does smell very, very similar to me. I feel like Cafe Rose was maybe just a hair sweeter because I could smell more of like a coffee, like a sweeter coffee note in it. But for the most part, this smells very similar to it to me from what I can remember. And this is a really high quality fragrance. It's just not my personal scent taste. The next one, you guys, is from Lattafa's Ana Abiyedh line. I do have a few from this particular collection. The Ana Abiyedh Poudre, that one is like probably what I would consider one of my signature scents. I feel like I mentioned that in my signature scent video of like my Middle Eastern fave, so I will link that up top. But this is a newer one. So this is Ana Abiyedh Scarlet. When I sprayed it for the first time, I definitely remember getting a ton of cherries. Main accords of rose, sweet vanilla, floral, cherry, soft, spicy, caramel, fresh patchouli, fresh, spicy. This has top notes of black cherry, pink pepper, middle notes of white rose, peony, tonka bean, nutmeg, and middle base notes of sugar, vanilla, caramel, and patchouli. Love that note composition, by the way. And this is compared to Fetiche La Rose or La Rose by Christian Louboutin. Also compared to La Nuit Trésor Intense by Lancome. Yeah, I definitely get a very peppery, sour cherry in the opening of this. It's very unique. I don't have anything in my collection that smells like this. But yes, on scan, I'm definitely getting this very peppery, sour cherry. And as it starts to dry down, I am getting that rose coming in and more of that mature rose. So I can kind of see how it was compared to Cafe Rose because it smells like a similar rose to me. But the other notes in here are sweetening this up and warming this up a bit. So I think I actually like this a lot better than the last rose fragrance that I just mentioned. Yeah, the nutmeg is coming through. The caramel is coming through. I think this one I honestly need to let sit a little bit longer. I have had it for a few weeks, but I think this one really needs a little bit more time because the last Ana Abiyedh that I had, it took a good 2 to 3 months before I really felt like it changed and it turned into just a stronger, richer version of what it was supposed to be. This one is still fairly new to me. So right now I'm really just getting a really pretty peppery sour cherry rose combo and it's very unique and different. I can't decide if it's something that I like right now. Like I'm not sure. Like it smells different, it smells nice, but I don't know if I would reach for this amongst all of my other fragrances to wear and actually enjoy wearing, if that makes sense. This is definitely one I need to get to know a little bit better, but for what I'm smelling right now, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's grabbing me. I don't think it's knocking my socks off. I just need to take this one out, wear it a bit, see how it does long term, etc., etc. Okay, and the last one that I have here is called Blueberry Musk. Main accords of fruity, sweet, floral, vanilla, and rose. And top notes of blackberry and blueberry, middle notes of freesia, lavender, and rose, and base notes of raspberry, vanilla, patchouli, and moss. This one is compared to Dark Kiss by Bath & Body Works. That's interesting. It's also compared to Britney Spears' Midnight Fantasy, La Nuit Trésor by Lancome. I feel like the first time I sprayed this, y'all, I was kind of perplexed. So hopefully this has changed a bit and I can give y'all, ooh, totally get how this is compared to Bath & Body Works Dark Kiss. This is giving me a richer berry scent, like it's a perfumey berry. So comparing it to Britney Spears' Midnight Fantasy, it gives me that vibe as well. It almost has that berry, like a blueberry or blackberry shampoo kind of vibe, but it smells more perfumey. It definitely smells like it could be like a designer fragrance shampoo, if that makes sense. Fruity floral is very interesting. It smells like a slightly more mature version of Britney Spears' Midnight Fantasy, which is a fresh kind of syrupy sweet shampooy blueberry scent. And it's very interesting. I do think that this one is going to do well, especially in the fall and the winter. So right now I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 just because it's not knocking me in the face, but it does smell nice. It does also smell a little generic, so to speak. I'm liking this a little bit more than the Scarlet. Even now, the Scarlet is starting to sweeten up too. Like, I'm getting that nutmeg and that caramel coming through, so it does smell nice. I think both of these are going to do way better with time. I have had both of them for a couple weeks now. I think I need to just give them a little bit more time to sit. Both of them, in my opinion, are about neck and neck for their ranking. Like, they're both around a solid 6 out of 7 to me right now. I don't love them as much as some of the others in this video, but they don't smell bad, and I do think I'm going to hold on to them to really give them some time and update you guys in the near future. All right, you guys, that is it for this Middle Eastern fragrance haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have tried any of these and you have different or similar opinions, of course, y'all let me know in the comments below. I love to chat with y'all and hear your POV and all of the things. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.